Hope's Peak Academy is a government-funded school of privilege where only the most talented high school students can hope to attend. Built to raise hope in the nation's future, many of its alumni are key leaders of various industries. New students are chosen through a scouting process, but the ones who scout them are Hope's Peak Academy's teachers, who serve as both educators and researchers of talent. Hope's Peak Academy isn't just a school for talent, it is also a school for researching talent as well. However, for the past few years, Hope's Peak Academy has been suffering from a decline in funding. If this persists, the Academy believes that they will not be able to make progress with their research of talent. So, they decided to implement a new system. The Reserve Department. That's what we're in. Unlike the main department who scouts for students, the Reserve Department utilizes a general entrance exam. Normal faculty was hired and placed in charge of looking after the Reserve Department. The expenses and exam fees for the Reserve Department are quite high compared to most high schools. Nevertheless, Hope's Peak Academy received an endless stream of applicants. Hope's Peak Academy was now available to talentless communers, people who only cared about the brand. With this, Hope's Peak Academy managed to amass sizable funds and began further research of talent. To create Hope's Peak Academy's earnest wish, a true genius who would become mankind's hope. But just when they thought everything was going well, an unprecedented incident occurred. The incident that triggered the tragedy, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. That's right, it was the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. Hope's Peak Academy was crippled by this incident and was forced to shut down without accomplishing anything. The end. What a story. Brought tears to my eyes. Yep. Oh, you're here again. Ooh, shots fired. Hey, we got Truth Bullet. Reserve Department. Alright, I don't think there's anything else in here. Yeah, we could probably open up one of these lockers. Maybe not. Nope. Alright, let's get out of here. Yeah, those lockers were a key element in like the 5th class trial of the first game. Alright, so we've explored the dojo. Let's see if we can go into the greenhouse. Nope. What's up? Yep. So I'm assuming something else opened up here or something, right? Nope. Excuse me for that. Oh, the classroom opened up. Okay. Pet check. Pets hatched. This classroom looks fairly normal. And it's got another manga book on it. It's got a guy holding a gun. Manga for Morons, The Tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. So this is a sequel to that last book, obviously. Might as well read it. As the name suggests, the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy occurred at Hope's Peak Academy. I probably really blew out the speakers there when I started that line. The key player in that event was a student named Izuru Kamakura. Izuru was a genius known as a symbol of hope. Hope's Peak Academy used all their resources to develop him. Supposedly, Izuru was a genius among geniuses and possessed various talents. Wielding superior talent for the hope of mankind, the Academy referred to Izuru as the ultimate hope. To protect such rare talent, the Academy completely concealed all evidence of Izuru's origins and identity. Because of that, most of the students at the Academy were completely unaware of Izuru's existence. Izuru, who is known as the symbol of hope, was responsible for a horrible incident. 13 students of Hope's Peak Academy's student council, among the Academy's best and brightest, were brutally murdered by Izuru. However, the incident did not end there. The Academy tried to protect Izuru's superior talent and conceal the incident as though it never happened. However, a certain student began working in secret to use that incident to their advantage. The student uncovered what the Academy did, and by making that knowledge public, it stoked the fires of the Reserve Corps students, who had been long dissatisfied with how they'd been treated, and the uprising began. And that heralded Hope's Peak Academy's destruction. This is the entirety of the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. Eventually, that incident would lead to that horrifying, devastating incident. The incident that would be known as the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. We're excited. Danganronpa 0. Thank God we didn't have to put a citation needed there or anything. Also, that was a really bad works cited page. They did not follow any sort of formatting. 0 of 10. Spatting trying to buy juice with a bar of gold. Guess we'll have to find out about that soon on. I'm sure there'll be another manga around here somewhere that we'll be able to read and, figure that out. That'll be our next manga book, probably. Alright, let's get out of here. I don't know if we'll still be on the 5th floor. Yeah, okay. So I'm assuming we're going someplace else. I can turn around. Nope, not going down the floor or anything. Let's see here. We'll check the greenhouse. That's still blockaded off. So I'm guessing it's going to be down this way. Maybe the biolab. There's opened up. Yep. Which, as I said previously, this was a morgue in the first game, which was a huge clue to one of the cases. So, of course, if you're watching this, you probably know that, and I shouldn't have to explain it to you. There's going to be some key elements coming up that you will need to have watched or played the first game to completely understand. We found another manga. It's Manga for Morons, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. We're trying to do something lame. It's a really spooky photo on the cover there, though. Ah! The tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy was simply the trigger. At first, the uprising by the Reserve Corps students that triggered the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy was initially hoped to be resolved quickly, but the situation continued to escalate to dangerous extremes. The movement started spreading all over the internet and fostered a thriving online community. The community was not limited to students, and people of various races and nations began joining in. But the movement was not confined to the internet, and began spreading and eroding the real world. When the movement started, it was indistinguishable from any other demonstration inspired by social unrest. But as it spread across the world, certain abnormalities soon came to light. By then, it was too late. The ends and the means had vanished, and wanton destruction became their only goal. The strong butchered the weak killed the weakest among them, and soon, the weak formed factions to brutally murder the strong. As the violence and death continued to spread, the shock of their actions began to disappear, as if the era was regressing to more uncivilized times when senseless deaths were the norm. The media was oversaturated with deaths to the point where people would watch them while enjoying a meal. By the time the world realized what had become, it was too late to stop what had happened. A feeling of immense despair began spreading and eventually engulfed the world. Acts of terrorism and coups d'etats began occurring around the world. A war waged in the name of despair. A war fought not for principles, religion, or personal gain. Just war. Pure war. And because of that, there was no way to resolve it. How could a movement started by high school students progress to such a hopeless scenario? The only explanation is the existence of a certain organization devoted to a certain student who influenced Hope's Peak Academy. A group called Ultimate Despair. Instead of using Hope's Peak Academy's talents for the sake of mankind's hope, they used them for the sake of mankind's despair. Key members of society used their influence to brainwash the masses in order to spread despair. Tech-savvy computer programmers wrote software to spread despair. The powerful and influential created new values and morals to spread despair. And with this, they created the tragedy, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. As long as ultimate despair exists, the despair engulfing the world will never end. The tragedy will never end. What a story. What is happening on the outside world? Best explanation is probably, shit's fucked. It's probably possible. Sneaky, sneaky. Alright. So we're gonna learn about Ultimate Despair next. I gotta get out of here, I'm cold. Alright, we're still on the 5th floor somehow, so I don't... Where should I go next? That's a great question. I'm guessing we'll probably be going downstairs. Let me check. No? Oh, there's another classroom open up. Alright. We'll go in here then. This is Despair on there. That's a non-animated Monokuma where it's just very quiet. What does Fuyuhiko have to say? Oh, fine. I'll deal with the dumb bear. Okay. Okay. All right, here we go. You remember this high school girl, don't you? Yep. Good old Junko.